It's just gone 8:30 Central Africa time. Good evening and welcome to Sport on Prime Time. I'm Simon Burke and this is what's been making headlines in your world of sport. And the world is waiting to see who the next FIFA president will be as elections are held in Zurich, Switzerland tomorrow. Prominent countries have been voicing their support for different candidates. Jack Parrick brings us this report from Moscow about where Russian support lies.
For Russia, Swiss Gianni Infantino gets their backing to be the next president of football's global governing body, FIFA.
We got together and discussed the notion of holding the election, and we have a candidate from Europe, Gianni Infantino. And we continue to support him and believe this is a worthy candidate, and we back his candidacy.
FIFA is desperately trying to recover its reputation and trust from football fans after its president of 18 years, Sepp Blatter, became embroiled in a corruption scandal in which he's accused of making disloyal payments and has been banned from working with FIFA for 8 years. Many questions have been raised about the bidding process in which Russia won the right to host the 2018 World Cup. Observers here say Infantino is unlikely to delve into that issue.
For Russia, it will probably mean the World Cup will actually take place in Russia. We hope that it will be held where it was voted to take place. I think it's an important argument for Russia to vote for Infantino.
Bookies' favourite to be the next head of FIFA is Sheikh Salman bin Ebrahim Al Khalifa, with Infantino a close second. South African Tokyo Sexwale remains in the race, but doesn't look in the running.
Whoever wins the FIFA presidency is going to have an uphill battle to rebuild trust in the organisation. For Russia, the focus will be on hosting a successful World Cup in 2018 with the cooperation of the newly appointed president. Jack Parrick, SABC News, Moscow.
And we now cross to Dan Whitehead, our correspondent in Zurich, to discuss the FIFA presidential elections further. Dan, what's been going on? What's the latest from Zurich?
Well, it's been the final day of campaigning here in Zurich, and in the building behind me tomorrow, more than 200 delegates from FIFA nations will be casting their vote on who will become the next FIFA presidency. Before that, of course, they have to vote through these large sets of reforms, really the backbone of the changes which FIFA wants to see during this Congress, and they come down to changing how the organisation works, as well as maximum terms for the next president. And one of the 5 candidates who will be standing for this presidency is the South African Tokyo Sexwale, who joins me now here in the studio. Good evening.
Dan, good evening. Yeah.
How has your final day of campaigning been going? Are you confident of getting a number of votes tomorrow?
Well, it's the final day, but the night is still long because we still have many more meetings to attend. After dinner, we'll still be having consultations with some of the delegates who are here because everybody is now here. So there's a lot of horse trading.
Now, if the pollsters and analysts are to be believed, there are 2 front runners, Sheikh Salman of Bahrain and, of course, Gianni Infantino. You've said that you are open to potential alliances if you do not win the presidency tomorrow. Who would those alliances be with?
No, the alliances are a normal part of any election process. Alliances are formed by discussions, either pre or during the voting itself, but alliances don't happen thereafter because it's over. So I had put that on the table because it's the proper thing to do. You know, you have alliances formed in any election, whether on the basis of a philosophy or a basis of a particular position. So that's it. We are all discussing and we're going to see what is going to happen tomorrow.
Are you confident that you could actually win this election?
Well, you know, an election of this nature, with only 209 people voting, and the most covered election, we have more than 400 journalists, the biggest event ever covered here. An election of this nature is going to produce surprises because everybody tells you, I'm going to vote for you, I'll vote for you, that type of thing. But at the end of the day, what is important is that when one of us gets elected tomorrow, who becomes president, The issue is not who gets elected, but how we begin to repair the damage done and fix up the house of FIFA.
And we'll come on to that, but just if it is Infantino or Sheikh Salman elected, which of those would you prefer to work alongside if that was an option?
What I have said then is that I borrowed the script from the young man here, the same place, when we had the Ballon d'Or last time, Neymar. He said, if I win the Ballon d'Or, it's a party. If Ronaldo wins, he's Neymar's idol, it's a party. And if it's Messi, he says, it's my strike partner, it's a party. For me to be one of the top 5 in the world, the last remaining 5, together with my other colleagues, because we're all members of the football family and we are all members of FIFA, whoever wins, that's it. As long as the new president, starting from 0 day tomorrow, because day 1 is on the 27th, is going to implement the reforms, will have a proper executive behind him, supporting and making sure that the corruption, this image of bribery, this image of all the wrongdoings that have been associated with FIFA goes away. That's the person we'll work with.
There are big organisations, big campaigners who say whoever becomes the next president, it is the organisation FIFA itself which needs to be completely wiped away and scrapped and started again if these corruption allegations are ever going to go away. Is that something that you would potentially back?
I can never back the scrapping away of FIFA. FIFA is more than just football. Football is more than just a game. It's about happiness of people, it's about infrastructure, it's about players, administrators, about coaches, it's about building the World Cup, which is an economic multiplier and so on. So we can't call for the scrapping of FIFA. Then it means we must accept as leaders of the organization that we have failed. What is required here is a concerted effort by determined people dedicated to making sure that the wrongs of FIFA, which damage the are corrected, and we are here for that.
OK, well, Mr. Sexwale, thank you very much for joining us this evening. A long day for him and the other 4 candidates as they discover tomorrow who will become the next president of this damaged organisation, which is tackling corruption and will continue to do so for many months to come. Back to you.
And we all wait with bated breath. That was our correspondent Dan Whitehead bringing us the latest from Zurich on the eve of the FIFA presidential vote. Also, the latest from Tokyo Sexwale, one of the 5 FIFA presidential candidates. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
This week we are taking you around the continent, telling you stories about what makes Africa, Africa.
We now head to the Kenyan coast, where we meet a man using needles to fight a growing drug culture.
A recent study revealed that there are 850 drug addicts in Diani alone, with over 220 using injectable drugs such as heroin.
In my community, I've seen a lot of these people suffer.
The Journal, every Saturday at 1:30 on SABC News.
Welcome back. You're still with Sport on Prime Time. Now, Springbok lock Lut Diaga has been named the SA Rugby Player of the Year for last season. The 23-year-old Diaga is the youngest winner of the most prestigious award in South African rugby since Brian Habana walked away with the spoils in 2005, aged just 22. The Toyota Cheetahs lock edged out fellow nominees for the top award, Damian Delendi, Eben Etzebeth, Skulkberger and Jaco Kriel. And Lut definitely was the player for the Springboks in the 2015 Rugby World Cup. Now, the Stormers are quietly confident going into their Super Rugby opening match against the Bulls at Newlands on Saturday. Coach Robbie Fleck has promised that his team will be fearless, but the main objective over the weekend is to start their campaign with a victory.
Peter Steph du Toit and Jana Vermaak will both earn their first caps for the Stormers in this blockbuster encounter. Jean de Jong will lead the team from centre, with his fellow captain Frans Malherbe set to make an impact from the bench. Eben Etzebeth and du Toit form a formidable lock pairing, while Nizam Carr, Skalkberger and Sikumbuzo Noche make up the back row.
It's a very physical battle up front. I think if you play the Bulls, it's probably won or lost there. On the gain line, forwards on the gain line, who dominates the gain line. We obviously want to be dominant, our forwards. And it's going to be a massive task. They're very physical. But yeah, we're up for it and looking forward to it.
The inexperienced Johnny Kotze partners de Jong at centre, with Vermaak partnering Robert Dupree at half-back. Cheslin Colby, Dylan Lades and Kobus van Wyk form the back three, and Fleck is adamant that they start the season off well.
It's extremely important for us. We're a young group, and it's all about confidence and gaining momentum. So the first game is extremely important. And look, we don't want to base our whole campaign on just on those winning every week. We've got to get things right.
The Stormers have been dominant over the Bulls of late, and the Newlands crowd can prove an obstacle to visiting teams. It's a new era for the Stormers, with a new coach and new captains. Robbie Fleck has promised that his team will be fearless and adopt an expansive game plan. The main objective, however, on Saturday at Newlands against the Bulls will be to start the season with a win. Craig Murray, SABC News, Cape Town.
And there you go. That was the latest from the Stormers in Cape Town. Certainly, probably South Africa's best bet, and making it further than anyone else in the competition. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Preparing for victory requires intense effort and teamwork. When you get to it, there is no turning back. Because all eyes are on you. When it's action time, nothing should stand in your way. Sports Live tackles and analyzes all the sport action. This is the home of all your sport news, updates and more. Sports Live weekdays at 8:30 p.m.
SABC News. We report, contextualize and present news and current affairs honestly, fairly and fully. We consider it a duty to provide consistent, relevant, useful and top-quality information and analysis. Our mission is to provide credible, accurate and interesting news programming, bringing news into everyone's homes in everyone's languages. Thank you, South Africa, for relying on SABC News for quality news output and for making us your #1 source of information. SABC News, Africa's news leader.
Welcome back. You're still with Sport on Prime Time. Now, though many have written him off at the age of 38, South African professional boxer Philip Ndou looks set to revive his career. Ndou was forced to hang up his gloves in 2004 after suffering head injuries. However, he made his return to the ring in 2009. The Time Bomb will take on Mtutuko Memela for the vacant IBF Continental Africa welterweight title tomorrow at Keebler Park Recreational Centre in Johannesburg.
Though the focus will be on claiming his first title after coming out of retirement, the bigger picture is the World IBF title. A victory against Ntutuko Memela will present the 38-year-old with the opportunity to challenge for the IBF World title. Ndou, who has been in the boxing scene for more than 2 decades, since making his debut in the amateur level in 1986, is yet to win his senior major world title.
I respect Mr. Ngowi for giving me the opportunity to fight for the IBF Africa, which will put me up there to fight for the IBF World title, which is very soon. It's coming. And this title also, I'm winning it, no matter what.
Ndou's opponent is relatively unknown to him, and his assertion that opposition does not need to be scouted as he focuses on his strength, irrespective of who he lines up against. However, with the preparations he received, the Limpopo-born boxer is confident of victory come the first round.
My preparation went very well. I'm well prepared. I'm happy. My management, they're doing very well. My sponsors, they come to the party also, grand auctioneers. So, look, I can't wait for tomorrow.
This will be Ndo's second fight under Moyo Scalon's promotions. His last fight was against Shauri Ramadan of Tanzania in August last year, which he won after 8 rounds with a knockout. Joseph Mohale, SABC News, Johannesburg.
Right now, joining me in the studio to discuss this fight further, it's Philip, the time bomb Ndo. Philip, thank you very much for joining us. I want to get right into it. You're 38, you're facing Ntutuko Mamela, and you say you're taking nothing for granted this time.
Hey, thank you very much, and I'm still looking young. I'm young. I'm young. You can look at me.
Absolutely, we're not going to dispute that, please.
Thank you very much. I'm fighting Ntutuko Mamela, yes, tomorrow, and yes, tick, boom. The time bomb is here.
So you're biding your time.
I'm ready for him.
Any big messages to give to your opponent, or you're going to save it for the ring?
I'm saving everything for the ring, and I want people to come and watch what I'll be doing what I'm going to be doing to Ntutuko Mamela. Look, end of the day, it's about me and him in the ring, two of us, and I respect him as a human being, as a boxer. I respect him for taking the fight, really. I respect him. But tomorrow is going to be explosion in the ring. There's no time to play. Being there with the biggest boxers, being there with the famous ones, I've been there with Mayweathers, Mondos, the tough guys, I've been there with them. So he can bring anything, Mamela, I'll be there.
Now talk about that, your experience. You've been everywhere. But you're on the road to trying to get somewhere else. Where do you want to be, and where do you think all this experience, this collective wisdom that you've gained over the years is going to be able to take you?
It's going to take me very far. I believe that the father upstairs there, he didn't put him to boxing just for granted. This is my career, it's what I do, and it's a gift from God. And tomorrow is another day for me to collect another belt, IBF Africa title. From there, we're going up, IBF world title. And which one I bring back? Age is nothing, just a number. And not forgetting to thank my promoter, Scalon, run by Promise Moyo. She's the owner of, she's doing a very good job. She's my manager. And since I joined her stable, she's doing a brilliant job.
Well, let's talk about that. Yeah, you're with Promise Moyo, and this is her first big fight in Johannesburg, and it's quite a bill that she's got to put together. How is it going? Is everything on track for tomorrow night? Everything is on track. There's no problems. There's nothing. My sponsor, they're there. They're supporting me. They're supporting her. They're supporting the whole bill actually, and. God is there. God is good, all the time. And as the main event, you've got to tie this all together. You're promising a lot, surely. Explosion time, baby. Explosion time. Explosion. Well, we've got to take your word for it at the moment. But still, if we look at this fight on paper, the one thing that stands out is the 38. How are you in the ring? Age. You must remember, age is just a number. I understand. I get the experience, the wisdom. But what about the physicality? What about the... I'm fit. Look at me. I'm fit. I'm ready. And able to go the full... 12 rounds. Been there, done it before. And I'm still here. And your record. You've got quite a good record. 37 wins, 34 by knockout, only 4 losses. And they've all come against the biggest. Putting that on the line again. As a fighter, tell us what you go through when you sign for a fight and you realize... we see like a Manny Pacquiao. He had a flawless record at one point, and it didn't end up quite the same when he retired. Putting your record on the line. I always smile when I sign a contract for a fight. I always smile. I say, God, thank you. Another one's coming. I'm going to beat.
in the ring there is me and my opponent.
Yeah.
And it's up to him. If he wants to go for 12 rounds, I'll be there. He wants to say, oh, I had enough now. Hey, it's a bonus.
Right. Well, I mean, I get that. I get that. Is it a knockout again? Are we looking at a knockout? Do 38-year-olds deliver knockout blows in the ring, or do you win?
I did not long time ago. I just did it in Limpopo fighting Ramadan.
Yeah.
I did Ramadan him in 4th round
for a continental title.
Yeah, for me to fight for this title, I knocked him out round number 4.
Yeah.
And people were saying, but your age. I said experience, wisdom is there.
Now let's look quite far down the road. IBF welterweight. Who would you be looking to size yourself up against if you should get that fight?
Anyone who wants to come and fight me says yes, I'll take the fight. Even the guy who knows me before, my Floyd Mayweather, I'm still calling his name. Let's do it again.
Do you think he'll come out of retirement for you?
If he's willing to, it's up to him.
Do you speak with him at all?
He came here. I told him, let's do it. And he says no.
I think that's a fight South Africans would love to see.
I would love to fight him, especially here at home.
Brilliant. Brilliant. So Philip, the Time Bomb Ndo, fighting tomorrow, Keebler Park Recreational Centre in Johannesburg. We wish you all the best of luck. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Champ, thank you very much.
Very good.
And good luck. Come tomorrow. And good luck to you, though.
Thank you.
It's going to end very quick.
Thank you kindly.
All right.
Right, that was Philip the Time Bomb Ndo. Now we're going to change track and get onto motorsport. And the South African cross-country champion, Leroy Poulter, has been voted the 2015 South African Guild of Motoring Journalists